right, guys, today we are going to be working on lesson 1.8 in math. And this is working with arranging numbers in order from greatest to least. So you'll hear that it sounds very similar to yesterday's lesson, except we're going to be doing it in the opposite order. All right, so let's look at our I can statement. I can put 3-digit numbers in order from greatest to least. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be doing this same process. We're just doing it opposite. Okay, so let's look at our first three numbers. We have the number 375, okay, 124, and 508. Now, if you remember from yesterday, when we put numbers in order from greatest to least, or when we're comparing them, we always start by looking in the digit farthest to the left, or in this case, it's going to be the hundreds place. Okay, so I see that this one has 300s, this one has 100, and this one has 500. Now, today, we are going from greatest to least. Remember, greatest is that second grade vocabulary word for the biggest, right? So we're looking for which one of these numbers is the greatest number of tens. 3, 1, or 5? 5. So here we go. Our first number would be written 508. And then I'm finished with that one, right? Okay. Now I have to look at my two that are left. I have 100 or 300. Which one is greater? 300, right? 375. All right. And the last number is the only one that I have left would be 124. And we know that our numbers should be going in order from greatest to least. 508, 375, 124. Okay? Now, remember from yesterday when we were doing our lesson. Okay? All right? We know that sometimes those numbers are going to be the same in the hundreds place. So let's look at this one. 649, 679, and 629. Okay? Now, we always start with the hundreds. We have 6, 6, 6. Cannot compare those because they have the same value. So we have to look next door to the tens. 4, 7, 2. Do those numbers have the same value? No, they don't. So we can put them in order. Now remember, today we're going from greatest to least. So we're looking 4, 7, 2. 4 tens, 7 tens, or 2 tens. Which one is the greatest? 7 tens. Very good. So our first number would be 679. Okay? And then we look at the two that are left, which is 4 tens and 2 tens. Which one is greater? 649. Very good. And our last one is the only one that is left. So 629 would be the last number. This is how we do it when the hundreds are all the same digit. Now let's look what happens in another one. Look at what's going to happen next. My numbers are 127, 129, and 125. All right, let's look at what we notice about these numbers. Okay, I notice that my hundreds are all the same. My tens are all the same. So I have to move to this last digit, which is my ones. And we're looking for greatest to least this time. 7, 9, or 5. Which one is bigger? 129 is the greatest. Then we go to 7 or 5. 7. 127. And then our final number is 125. Okay? Now, go ahead and grab your whiteboard. You're going to have a chance to practice these skills that we just went over on your whiteboard. So grab your whiteboard and come on back. I'm going to go ahead and write our numbers down on the board. 609, 740, 628, and 435. All right, I want you to write your numbers in order from greatest to least. So pause your video, write your numbers in order from greatest to least. Remember, if you get to one that has the same number of hundreds, go next door, okay? When you're finished, come on back and see if you got them correct. All right, so we should have looked at our hundreds and seen which one is the greatest. Which one's the greatest? That's going to be this 7 right here. So 7 hundreds is bigger than 6 hundreds or 4 hundreds. All right? Now I have a 6, and a 4. Which one is greater? 6. But what do we notice? It's the same. So we have to go next door. Here. 0 tens, 2 tens. Which one's the greatest? 2. So 628, 609. We can take both of those off because we're done with those. And then the one we're left with is 435. Okay? Good job, guys. Now, you are going to have a chance to show what you know on your math workbook. But if you want to practice a little bit more before you do your math workbook, you're going to use the same cards from yesterday that we did in 1.7, and you're going to flip over your paper, and you're going to do the exact same thing we did yesterday. Pull out 4 cards, put them in order, write them down. But you're going to go from greatest to least, okay? So you can do that to practice before you do your worksheet, page 1.8. It is set up exactly the same as yesterday as well. It just is going from greatest to least today instead of the way we did it yesterday, all right? When you're finished with 1.8, you can submit it on Seesaw to Miss Gates.